evening and thank you for staying with us here on Republic. The show's called This Is Exclusive. I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. For the last 5 days to be precise, remember, into our newsroom, we've been reading a lot of information about the Shraddha murder case, right from pictures to chats to very, very gory details. And this makes you ask just one more question. Does the police have good enough evidence to nail Aftab? Or is Aftab already trying to cook an alibi to save himself? We will deep dive into that story and much more here with our reporters joining us live over the next 30 minutes. First up, the headlines. It's a big mystery over the Shraddha murder case. Republic accesses new pictures and reports that expose the torture. Killer Aftab also now trying to peddle a mentally ill theory. He says have a drug addiction. More explosive chats now emerge. Shraddha confides in her ex-manager and she says that yes, I was beaten. And in more news, it's a mega BJP versus TRS political face-off in Telangana. The TRS protest turns violent. BJP MP's residence is vandalized. It is the murder most foul. It's a story that has kept everyone captivated for the last many days. And as I said, with so much coming out, this really tells you what Shraddha endured. Now, earlier in the day, what happened is that Republic accessed this one picture of Shraddha. This dates back to 2020. We'll just put that picture out on your screens in a moment. Look very closely at what she endured. Right from her swollen eyes, which you can see, to scratches on her cheek, to cuts on her nose, to a bruised neck. She almost died. She almost died, and this as an image that dates back to 2020. And do remember, after the entire episode, she was also hospitalized briefly. We've also spoken to the doctor, and we are going to be putting out that conversation also out in just a bit. But the report says very clearly that she was admitted for 4 days. 4 days Shraddha was in the hospital. This is about 2 years back in the year 2020 with what she endured. So why did even Shraddha go back to Aftab? What kind of theories is Aftab peddling? Is he lying to the cops where he says that I was under the influence of drugs? Is he already trying to cook an alibi? Even as we'll answer all those questions, and as I said, Justice for Shraddha continues to be a big Republic campaign. And before we put out that doctor conversation, I want to go into our colleague Piyush, who's reporting live for us from Gurgaon. Piyush, the story has shocked all of us. The story is beyond belief with what Shraddha endured. And this one picture that will remain on our screens is a clear testimony to the fact that what Shraddha endured. She actually could have died then. She could have died. You actually see those marks on her neck that many people say, and I discussed this picture with a few doctors, few forensic experts. They said you can't rule the fact out that this could be a strangulation mark.
So Deepthi, you rightly mentioned, and I can definitely sense the pain also when you were just showing that image. And yes, it's also painful for us to also imagine what Shraddha would have gone through. But having said that, let us also now understand that how difficult it is proving for the Delhi police also now to take out all evidences and nail this person called Aftab for what he has done. Now, I will just tell you that I'm reporting from Gurugram, and this actually was a place of activity today in the morning. Today in the morning, the Delhi police came over here to probe some managers and some friends of Aftab in his workplace. But it did not happen that way. What happened actually was very surprising. They came to a vacant place, which is just few meters away from the workplace of Aftab, and started digging. And after 1.5 hours, they found some poly bags which may contain human remains of Shraddha. So you can understand that how clever and how shrewd actually Aftab is. He did not only dispose the body remains, or what it seems now, he not only disposed the body remains in the forest of Naroli, but he also disposed the body parts somewhere else. And what we can see is that he may have disposed it also in Gurugram. The second major important thing is that can a person who calls himself a drug addict do such kind of things, do such kind of acts in a very shrewd and clever manner? Now, mind you, the place where this body remains or reported body remains may have been found is a very busy place. So can this be done alone by a person who is actually a drug addict? And are there some accomplices which are involved in helping Aftab? So these are some very vital, these are some very important questions that now needs to be investigated and solved. And having said that, what cannot be definitely ruled out is that Aftab did cause a lot of handling to Shraddha. And you can see this image which you're just flashing over here, that how much pain, how much troubles and how much hassles was Shraddha undergoing with her relationship with Aftab. And for this itself, Aftab should be brought to book. Yes, back in the studio.
Oh, yes. And I think, Piyush, you've also summed that up very well when you say that this is what she endured. But like I said, I do not know why she still continued to be with him. And I think that's exactly why forensics today hold the key to every piece of investigation, Piyush, that the police has to get their hands on. Only for the moment, Piyush, I'm thanking you, but we'll reconnect with you soon as we keep our eyes focused on that big story unraveling by the moment. I also want to tell our viewers that we'll have a close friend of Shraddha just joining us on the broadcast in a moment. But before I go back to that friend and, take the story ahead, we spoke of a doctor. Now, what happened when Shraddha endured this pain? What happened when Shraddha had swollen eyes? She had almost bruise marks on her cheek. She had that strangulation mark on her neck. She had to be hospitalized. She was in hospital for the next 4 days, Piyush, and the doctor has spoken to us. And the doctor is recalling what Shraddha went through. He's also telling us whether Aftab was anywhere near to be seen then or not.
श्रद्धा यहाँ पे 3 दिसंबर 2020 से 6 दिसंबर 2020 तक एडमिट थी। वो काफ़ी तेज़ गर्दन का दर्द और पीठ का दर्द के कारण आई थी, जिसके कारण उसको मूवमेंट्स में मुश्किल हो रहा था, डिफिकल्टी हो रही थी।
जो इंजरी हुई थी उसके बारे में श्रद्धा ने बताया था कि कैसे वो इंजरी आई उसको, और वो क्या उसके आगे भी कुछ बताया था, क्या कितने दिन तक यहाँ एडमिट रही?
हम हिस्ट्री पूछते पेशेंट से, लेकिन पेशेंट ने हमें ऐसा कोई खास रीज़न नहीं बताया जो उसको रिकॉल हो कि जिसके कारण ये हो रहा है। जस्ट वो पेन का कंप्लेंट कर रही थी, लेकिन उसका कारण उसने हमें नहीं बताया कुछ भी।
तो क्या ऐसी चोटों से क्या डॉक्टर आप पता लगा क्या कि किसी के साथ मारपीट हुआ है या किस तरह से हुआ है, क्या ऐसा कुछ लगा आपको?
नहीं, वैसे एक्सटर्नल इंजरी कुछ उसके बॉडी पे नहीं दिखाई दे रही थी। हाँ। जब हमने हिस्ट्री पूछा तो उसने भी हमें कोई ऐसा मारपीट का कारण नहीं बताया। बाकी जो उसके इन्वेस्टिगेशंस हुए उसमें एक्सरे में भी हमें थोड़ा सा स्पाज्म नजर आया, मतलब जो स्पॉन्डिलाइसिस जैसे फीचर्स रहते हैं वैसे, और वो कई कारणों से हो सकता है, गिरने से, मारपीट से, या फिर एक्सरसाइज नहीं होने से, बैड पोस्चर रहने से, वजन उठाने से भी हो सकता है।
जब वो हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट थी तो क्या उससे मिलने के लिए आफ्ताब आया था या श्रद्धा की फैमिली वाले आए थे मिलने के लिए?
मुझे जहाँ तक रिकॉल है उसको एडमिशन के समय आफ्ताब था उसके साथ।
आफ्ताब यहाँ पे एडमिट किया था। फिर आफ्ताब कितनी बार यहाँ हॉस्पिटल में आया था, और उसके डिस्चार्ज होने के दौरान में उसके जो फीसेस थी वो कैसे पेड किया गया था?
पेमेंट का तो आपको एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से पता चलेगा, उसके बारे में मैं नहीं बता पाऊंगा।
तो डिस्चार्ज के टाइम क्या आफ्ताब आया था यहाँ पे उसको डिस्चार्ज करने के लिए, कि खुद फैमिली मेंबर आया हुआ था?
नहीं, फैमिली मेंबर मुझे नहीं रिकॉल हो रहे, शायद फैमिली मेंबर को मुझे नहीं लगता मैंने देखा है, लेकिन आफ्ताब को मैंने देखा है।
हाँ, फिर उसके बाद फिर से कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुई दोबारा? कभी श्रद्धा हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट हुई क्या?
नहीं, वो दोबारा यहाँ पे नहीं आई, दोबारा यहाँ पे नहीं आई।
So that is a doctor, and in fact, I want to say good evening to Godwin, who's Shraddha's close friend. He joins us right now. Godwin, thank you for speaking to us. And, our thoughts, our prayers right now are with all of you, the family, the friends of Shraddha, because this is absolutely no way to treat anyone. This is no way for anyone to go. Shraddha didn't deserve this. Godwin, I do understand it's been a difficult last few days for all of you. Tell me something, when did you as in you personally, spoke to Shraddha last? When was it?
Last I spoke to Shraddha was way back in 2021. Most probably it should be in the first quarter or the second quarter.
What was that conversation all about? What did she say?
Shraddha for a long time.
On 23rd of November.
Godwin, we just try to fix that back because we really want to hear you, you know, and through us, I think the entire country wants to hear you because we are speaking to very close friends. We are speaking to people who had known Shraddha. And do remember, if you connect all these dots, whether it's that picture, whether it's this chat right now that's playing out on your screens, to these first-person accounts by family, by friends, by people who had known Shraddha, it all is pointing towards one basic thing: serial abuse. Serial abuse by Aftab is something that has been noticed, it has been reported, it has been observed time and again. And this man today, Aftab, says, I was under the influence of drugs. And I will again and again keep repeating that because we must not forget that he might just be trying to cook an alibi. Now, before I go back to Godwin, read very, very closely these 11 chats. These are 11 WhatsApp chats that have been accessed by Republic. Look at the date also. It's November the 24th, 2020, where Shraddha is having this conversation with someone very close to her. She goes on to say, I was beaten so bad, I can't get up. He's moving out today. He is Aftab here. She continues to detail point by point what she went through, what she endured. And like I said, all this, remember, is a very, very important piece of information. It's a very important piece of the investigation, proof that cries abuse. It's a proof that again and again reiterates the fact that Shraddha was in a toxic relationship. The fact is, how many people were aware about this? Did Shraddha ever report this to the cops? Because there are certain reports saying that she did report this to the police officers, but nothing was done. In fact, the police said that you can go back and everything is fine. So did that really happen? You know, this entire story, as I said, is also about what forensic evidence will you have in the entire case, because only forensics, now remember, hold the key to this entire story to ensure that Aftab continues to be behind bars and Aftab deserves death penalty, is what the entire country today says. Now, this is a top forensic officer who's spoken to Republic in the entire case. He's S.K. Gupta. He makes it very, very clear that they have ample evidence, and he believes that this evidence is good enough to help the police nail the entire case. Let's listen in to this exclusive input that Madhurima has got us.
की टीम, फॉरेंसिक टीम आफ्ताब अमीन पूनावाला के घर गई सारे एविडेंस रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए। तो सर, जब आपने एंटर किया तो आपने वहाँ पे क्या क्या देखा?
देखिए, हमने उसके जो हाउस की सारी सर्चिंग करी थी और वहाँ पे जो भी क्राइम एग्जिबिट हमें मिले थे वो हमने कलेक्ट किए थे और वो सारे हमने पुलिस को हैंडओवर कर दिए।
जी, तो सर आपको एविडेंस मिले हैं वहाँ से जो आपने पुलिस को हैंडओवर कर दिए हैं?
जो भी मिले हैं वो हमने हैंडओवर कर दिए।
जी सर, अगर डीएनए सैंपलिंग की अगर बात की जाए तो जो हड्डियां जंगल से मिली हैं वो इंसान की हैं?
ये एग्जामिनेशन का विषय है। जंगल में भी हमें कुछ एग्जिबिट्स मिले थे
जी, वो
भी हमने पुलिस को हैंडओवर कर दिए हैं। पुलिस उसको फर्दर डीएनए एग्जामिनेशन या और कुछ एग्जामिनेशन के लिए हमारी लेबोरेटरी में भेजेगी तो उसकी रिपोर्ट दी जाएगी।
सर, कितना क्लीन था घर? क्योंकि ऐसी भी रिपोर्ट आ रही है कि काफी मेहनत से वहां पे साफ सफाई की गई है, एविडेंस छुपाने की कोशिश की गई है। ऐसा लगा क्या आपको?
क्लीन था घर, हम यही कह सकते हैं।
जी सर, और एक मैं कहूंगी कि आज कोर्ट की तरफ से नार्को की परमिशन मिल गई है, तो अगर एफएसएल नार्को करता है अगले 2-3 दिन में, तो किस तरीके का प्रोसीजर होता है ये?
देखिए, अभी हमारी फॉरेंसिक साइंस लेबोरेटरी रोहिणी में नार्को की फैसिलिटी स्टार्ट हो गई।
जी।
हमारी टीम, एफएसएल की टीम और डॉक्टर की टीम मिलके बाबा अम्बेडकर हॉस्पिटल में नार्को टेस्ट करते हैं।
जी, तो सर नार्को टेस्ट किस तरीके का होता है कि जैसे अगर पुलिस को अभी लग रहा है कि वो कोऑपरेट नहीं कर रहा है, तो नार्को टेस्ट से कितनी सक्सेस मिल सकती है?
नार्को टेस्ट एक तरह से सच को उगलवाने का एक तरीका है।
जी, तो सर एक सवाल मैं और पूछूंगी कि आफ्ताब आपके साथ था, तो क्या उसने कोऑपरेट किया पूरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन में आपके साथ?
इस बारे में पुलिस ही बता पाएगी आपको। थैंक यू।
जी सर, बस एक आखिरी सवाल, क्या आफ्ताब ने बताया था कि बॉडी कहाँ रखी, किस तरीके से उसने उसको चॉप किया, या इस तरीके का कोई कन्फेशन?
ये मैडम पुलिस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन का ही विषय है, ये हमारा कंसर्न नहीं है।
सर क्या बाथरूम में रखी थी बॉडी की, कम से कम छींटे पड़े और वहाँ पे काटे?
ये पुलिस वाले ही बता पाएंगे।
सर बाथरूम से भी सैंपल लिए गए हैं?
कई सैंपल लिए थे हमने, 10 सैंपल लिए थे
जी,
जो जंगल में लिए।
सर बाथरूम, किचन, घर के हर कोने से एविडेंस ले लिए गए हैं?
जो भी एविडेंस मिले हमने कलेक्ट कर दिए।
So you heard the forensic officer who's actually picked up a lot of evidence in the entire case. Now he for the moment believes that there is a good enough case and they have been able to track that evidence that will help the police nail the case. Now in crime, remember, there is a theory that says last seen. You know, when a murder takes place, the police would want to know when was the person last seen and with whom. This is where this next interview that we are putting out of a plumber actually becomes important. This is a plumber who actually had last seen Shraddha. Watch what he says, hear it very, very carefully, and we'll have to see whether this can help unravel the many questions in the entire case.
जाते हुए तो मैंने उसी टाइम देखा था, बाकी आफ्ताब को मैंने कई बार देखा है। मैं पानी के बारे में बताने गया हूँ।
आप प्लम्बर है यहाँ पे?
हाँ जी।
तो क्या बात हुई आपकी आफ्ताब से, जरा उसके बारे में बताइए।
किराएदार ने मकान मालिक के पास फ़ोन किया था कि ऐसे से पानी की दिक्कत है, तो उन्होंने मेरे पास कॉल किया कि ऐसे से आप थोड़ा उन्हें समझा दो, मैं थोड़ा दूर हूँ और 1-2 बार वो समझेंगे। तो नए किराएदार हैं, उनको पता नहीं है इसके बारे में, तो मैंने उनको बताया। फिर आफ्ताब भी नीचे आया था।
So it's a very brief interview, but very, very important. And as I said, when you're looking at a case like this, every bit of information is important. I see Godwin back on our screens. Godwin, thank you for reconnecting. I hope you can hear us this time and we can hear you as well. Tell me something. When was the last conversation that you had with Shraddha? What was that conversation all about?
The last conversation I had with Shraddha was way back in 2021. The first quarter or the second quarter, when she was trying to share her experience of a new job with me. In fact, she had also told me that Aftab is trying to move out of India with her and they want to settle down in Dubai. I do not know will it be work purpose or for pleasure, but Aftab was trying to go to convince Shraddha to move to Dubai completely.
Okay, you know, Godwin, there are a number of new details in the entire case, whether it's this picture that's playing out on our screens of Shraddha of 2020 and later the entire information that she was even hospitalized for 4 days. She did speak about depression to the doctor. She did confide in a lot of people about this. What is it that you know about the kind of relationship that Shraddha and Aftab shared? Did Shraddha ever try to move out of this toxic relationship?
See, I would want to put more spotlight on the entire situation, because for the world this is come in light. But as a person, as a
Okay, I think we just are having trouble connecting with Godwin, and it's a little unfortunate, but do remember, as I said, Republic trying to get you a lot of these live testimonies, because in a case like this, every important detail, every important information can be connected and joined together to give you the big picture. Godwin, they're recalling that the last conversation that he had with Shraddha was somewhere in 2021. He does say that there was an inkling to the fact that Shraddha along with Aftab wanted to actually move out of the country. Now, whether that was for an official purpose, for career purpose, or whether that was for personal reasons is still not clear, but we'll try to get Godwin back here live. But he does reiterate the fact that there was some bit of unease in this entire relationship, and he along with Shraddha wanted to even leave the country. You're looking at the next breaking development in the entire case. Aftab's narco order has been accessed by Republic, and I think we'll just try to put that out on the screens in a bit. Now, you would recall that just about yesterday, the story again was broken by Republic that said that Aftab's narco will also take place very, very soon. And this is an order that has been accessed by Republic. We'll just try to put that out on our screens again in a bit. But why is this test important? This is important in cases like these where there is a bit of inkling that the accused could be lying. Is he trying to mislead the cops? This is what will get clearer at the end of this test. Now, what the case says, it says, and I quote now from the order, that a request for exemption regarding physical appearance of the accused for today, okay, this is also about the narco analysis test willingness, has been moved by the concerned IO in the case. And then it does go on to say that this narco has been allowed by the court. And there is also, in fact, a statement of the accused here. And I'm just, please bear with us because we are just trying to get you more details of that order that has just been accessed by Republic. In a case like this, the accused's consent is also taken for a narco test, something that already has been done by the Delhi police in the case. And they will now be very soon taking him for a narco test. Now, how really is this test done is where certain medicines are intravenously injected to be able to ensure that the questions that are asked of you are answered in the right manner. It's essentially also to figure out whether the accused is trying to lie or mislead in the entire case. The narco order copy has been accessed by Republic. It'll just be up on your screens in a bit because there isn't much of solid evidence in the entire case, considering that this is a murder that took place at least 5 to 6 months ago. And who knows, Aftab or his accomplices could have destroyed a lot of that evidence. And this is why the narco test here becomes very, very important. Let's see if we can get our colleagues reporting on that story. And Rhythm has been able to access that order. I'm told Sanika is also joining us live right now from our Mumbai newsroom. Sanika, please take it away and please help us understand the operational part of this order. It does go on say that narco test has been requested and the application has also been accepted by the court.
Yes, and Deepthi, this is the order that we've accessed on page number 5. Let me read to our viewers. The FSL Rohini is directed to allow the IO investigating officer conducting the narco analysis test of the accused within 5 days from today. So now this order was passed yesterday, Deepthi, on the 17th. So 5 days from 17th, so say any day, so before 21st to 22nd, we're expecting the narco analysis test of Aftab would be conducted. This is just... in fact, if I go on page number 3, we know that Aftab was produced before the court via video link, and this is how the entire proceedings went. The accused was questioned whether he is willing to undergo narco analysis test or not. To this question, the accused answers, "I give my consent." The accused is further questioned whether he is still willing to give his consent to undergo narco analysis test. In reply, the accused voluntarily answers yes. The consent of the accused is sought through video conferencing, recorded and is signed by his LAC, Mr. Harshit Sagar, on his behalf, who is present before me in the video conferencing room. Since the accused has consented for the narco analysis test, the application moved on behalf of the IO is allowed. So, Aftab's consent was sought before the order was passed, and he voluntarily said yes for the narco analysis test. At this stage, the IO, the investigating officer, has submitted that he has to seek permission from the FSL department, Rohini, Delhi, for conducting the narco analysis test of the accused. In fact, and then on page number 5, it is said that the FSL Rohini is directed to allow the IO, investigating officer, for conducting the narco analysis test of the accused within 5 days from today. So when this order was passed on the 17th, 5 days from the order would be roughly around 21st to the 22nd. So we're expecting in another 4 days or so, the narco analysis test of Aftab could be conducted by the Delhi police.
You know, Sanika, this is important. And I was just reading that, you know, how does a narco test actually take place? What is its veracity? And, you know, I was also reading that it has to be corroborated with solid evidence also. And there is a long list of narco tests that have been done by the investigative agency. It was conducted also on Abdul Karim Telgi in the year 2003. Then also remember the infamous Nithari killing, Sanika, of the year 2007. Now, why don't you tell us what happens next in the case? The police has custody for Aftab for the next 5 days. In this, they also intend actually to take him to Himachal, to Uttarakhand, to piece together a lot more loose dots in the entire case.
Yes, and Deepti, because we know we were closely following the proceedings in the court yesterday, and we know the advocate and the lawyers also said that there is going to be a series of the investigators, in fact, have to connect a lot of dots. They need concrete evidence in hand to produce before the court. One of them would be going to Uttarakhand and Himachal to retrace the entire sequence of events that could have led to the murder, because we know that just before they shifted to Delhi, Aftab and Shraddha had gone to Uttarakhand, had gone to the hills for a vacation, for a trip, and then they returned to Delhi and settled in Delhi is what we are knowing. So was there an accomplice that did Aftab speak to somebody there? Did Shraddha speak to somebody there? What are the places they went to? So the Delhi police is trying to connect the dots, the missing pieces of this jigsaw puzzle by taking him to Uttarakhand and Himachal. We're unsure of when that is going to happen. We know today Delhi police took him to his office, Aftab's office in Gurgaon, where he was questioned at his workplace, taken to his workplace. So we know that part of the investigation is done. Himachal and Uttarakhand could be next, and in the next 5 days they will also have to conduct the narco analysis test on Aftab. So these are the series of events that the Delhi police is probably going to come out. And parallelly, there's also an investigation that is taking place in Mumbai. A Delhi police team is also in Mumbai. We also had these visuals of Shraddha's friend, in fact, who is one of the who is now one of the main witnesses in the case. He recorded his statement with the police today. We had Sandeep reporting live on that development as well. So fast-paced developments, Deepti, and also with the chats that we've accessed, the explosive chats and the pictures of Shraddha, which show the torture and the brutality and the injury marks on her. I'm sure there are going to be many twists in this case, which Aftab is trying probably, trying to kind of wriggle out of this entire situation, trying to divert the interrogation, probably the investigation so far by, just pushing in a drug angle. We don't know if that's true. That's up to the investigators to find out. But there are lots of twists that we probably could, expect in the coming days, Deepti.
Yes, absolutely. Sanika, that image, you can't forget that image. She's battered, she's bruised, but yet she's smiling. On the other side, these are details also of the investigation that continues in the entire case as we quickly head into a break right now. But do remember, our focus on the Shraddha murder investigation will continue. It will continue till Aftab is actually nailed by the cops. And also, there is one more exclusive that Republic is bringing to you on the other side of this very, very quick break. This is a Republic super investigation. This is about the Malegaon blast, and our SIT has some chilling details and findings to share with you. Don't go anywhere.
The poster war which is on in the national capital. Yesterday also we have seen the same, and this is not the first time. Just before the MCD election, now it is on the daily basis when Bharatiya Janata Party, the Delhi unit of Bharatiya Janata Party, is coming out with the posters, and this is the poster war which is going on. And today, if we talk about the latest, this is about the money heist, the poster which has been put by Bharatiya Janata Party on the Twitter handle, and they are calling them professors of corruption. Yesterday, let me remind you, this was like including all the top brasses of the Aam Aadmi Party. This was put in that these are thugs of Delhi, comparing it from the real life to the real life. Today, this is again a poster in which the top brasses, including Manish Sisodia, Satyen Jain, Arvind Kejriwal himself, all could be clearly seen in that poster. And this is the money heist in Delhi poster by BJP Delhi.
Director General of the National Investigative Agency, Dinkar Gupta, at the NMFT conference spoke about the change in India's security scenario after the centre adopted a zero-tolerance policy to terrorism, says it brought change in India's security scenario.
The NMFT process is ministerial. FATF is not ministerial, it's largely official and it's membership based. NMFT, the number of countries participating at the ministerial level is increasing by the year. In our conference, I think it's
the news breaks, the controversies.
सारे जो अपशब्द इस्तेमाल किए हैं उसके बारे में क्या?
सर, आप गुजरात के मुख्यमंत्री हैं, आप जानना चाहती है जनता कि इतने लोगों की मौत हुई है सर, लेकिन
मनीष जी, आपको समन किया जा रहा है. Sir, you want to say something?
The channel for elections. Separate with Arnab.
Now, it's the biggest investigation of 2022, the Malegaon investigation. Was the entire case made up? Is it a fraud? Was the entire investigation that was conducted then under the UPA a fraud? We're getting you all the details and exclusive news breaks. First up, let's have a quick check of the headlines. Rahul's insult to Hindutva icon Veer Savarkar becomes the biggest political issue.
जो स्वतंत्रता सेनानी हमारे राष्ट्र पुरुष रहे, उनके बारे में इस तरीके का बयान देना, ये बताता है कि वो भारत को जोड़ने के लिए नहीं, तोड़ने के लिए.
BJP fact checks Rahul on Veer Savarkar, says Congress can only break India. The biggest investigation of 2022 on Malegaon. Narco analysis goes missing. Variations in witness statements. What's the Malegaon truth? Evidence of Aftab's brutality piles up. Shraddha's chat with manager from 2020 shows she wanted Aftab to move out. It's one murder but many twists. In his latest tale, accused Aftab says he was intoxicated when he murdered Shraddha.
2, 1, 0.
Event number 96 completed.
And we have a successful liftoff of Vikram S rocket.
India enters the Elite Space League with the launch of Vikram S, India's first ever privately developed rocket. Now, last night on The Debate, it was part one of the Malegaon investigation. We showed you how the narco analysis tests cannot be found. We showed how the accused have been asking for the narco reports, but the narco reports have been missing. Where are they? We showed you how the High Court refused the plea of one of the co-accused, saying the NIA isn't relying on it. We showed you how those who conducted the narco test in Bangalore say that the CD was handed to the ATS. So what is this entire Malegaon truth? We are conducting a big Malegaon investigation, getting to the bottom of the truth, and we are going to be joined by one of the co-accused in the case, Major Ramesh Upadhyay, and he will be answering some of the questions that we have on this entire investigation that was conducted under the UPA government, based on which many UPA leaders, many Congress leaders in fact had coined the term saffron terror, Hindu terror. So what exactly is the Malegaon truth? We will also be getting the witness statements, which have a lot of variations in them. And we have the co-accused, Ramesh Upadhyay, joining us live on this broadcast as we deep dive into this entire Malegaon fraud. Major Upadhyay, if you could answer my first question. You filed a plea in the City and Sessions Court of Greater Bombay on 1st of September 2012, seeking the narco analysis. Why was that?
Because the day we were produced, the first day that we had been produced in the court at Nasik, we volunteered for narco analysis test. And we were assured there that a copy of that narco analysis report will be given. And accordingly, permission was granted by the court. Me and Samir Kulkarni, we volunteered the first day. And Sadhya Pragya Singh Thakur also had volunteered the first day. And I gathered that every accused who was asked to go for narco analysis test, we volunteered the first time only. Because we are innocents, we are not bothered. And we wanted to cooperate with the prosecuting agency to reach to the real culprits. So we volunteered. What happened was our narco analysis test was conducted by the ATS at Bombay. After a few days, they took us again to FSL Bangalore and conducted another test. It simply means that in the first narco analysis test, we had been found to be innocent